guys, Kate, Confessions of a Food Blogger. I want to welcome you to my Introduction to Pinterest Idea Pins video. Lately I've been spending a lot of time working on Pinterest's latest edition, the Pinterest Idea Pins. Hopefully there'll be a lot of helpful information in this video that you can incorporate into your Pinterest marketing strategy to help grow your presence there and ultimately drive traffic to your blog. I'm going to start out by talking a little bit about what idea pins are and why I think you should be using them. And then we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of how to make a Pinterest pin. This video is about 25 minutes long, so there's a lot of detail in it, but I think by the end you will all be experts in creating Pinterest idea pins. So let's get started. Let's start out by talking a little bit about what a Pinterest idea pin is. Pinterest idea pins are only kind of new. They're actually the evolution of the Pinterest story pin. Pinterest has a slightly new take on them. Their intent is for creators to share a complete story with the user. So the idea is that the user won't have to go anywhere else for information, that this series of slides between 1 and 20 will be able to tell a user exactly how to complete a task or make a recipe or build a craft. If you've just started working with Pinterest idea pins, you may look at them and think, hey, I've seen this before. And that's because they're really similar to Instagram stories, at least in some ways. Like an Instagram story, it's a series of slides. And as it unfolds, it tells the user a story. So as I described in the earlier slide, the idea is that you'll be able to define for the user how to do a complete project. Pinterest pins are a little different than Instagram stories, though, because they don't disappear after 24 hours. Once they're up on Pinterest, they're up there to stay. But they also don't allow links. So there is no way, like there is in an Instagram story, for a user to click on a Pinterest idea pin to get back to your website. Despite not being able to include a link back to your blog, I do think Pinterest idea pins are still worth using, at least right now. Pinterest is really pushing them because they're a new product. And I just read an article on Tailwind that suggests that Pinterest idea pins are getting 41 times more saves than static pins. So even though you can't use a link, you're still generating a lot of activity on Pinterest, which will ultimately, hopefully, lead a user to your profile. And from there, they can find your static pins, which will lead them to your blog. All of this is a long way of saying if you're not already using Pinterest idea pins, it's time to get started. To help, I've created this tutorial to teach you how to use Pinterest pins. If you'd like more information, be sure to subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. And also be sure to check out my blog, Confessions of a Food Blogger, where I have a lot of informative articles and videos to help you start, build, and manage your blog. Now that we've talked about what Pinterest idea pins are and why and when you should be using them, let's get to the good stuff. I'll show you how to make a Pinterest pin. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate how to create a Pinterest idea pin. I'm doing this on my iPhone because it is, for whatever reason, Pinterest has given more design options on mobile devices than you would have if you created a Pinterest idea pin on your computer. So anyway, this is actually just being broadcast to my laptop, so you see my computer screen or my phone screen here in a second. Let's open up Pinterest. So this is my Pinterest homepage, and all I'm going to do is click on the add button and then click on idea pin. And then what it'll do is open up my drafts, my existing drafts, but since we're starting from scratch here, I'm just going to click create new. And then it'll automatically open up to your camera. You can see my forehead there, which we don't want. So then I'm going to click on my pictures right here and go down through my videos. And I actually have the videos for this Pinterest idea pin already pre-edited. You can have up to 20 different slides. They can be images or videos. And Pinterest recommends that you do start with a video, but adding images in subsequent slides is fine. So I'm just going to identify the ones that I want in here, and I'm going to click on them. And as I do, Pinterest is going to order them for me. So it is helpful to kind of have a sense of what order you want things to be in as you enter them into Pinterest, although you can reorder them once you're in there, as you'll see. So I'm just going to click on all of these and then hit next. And Pinterest has them all uploaded now. And then down here at the bottom, you can see there's different tabs here. So there's design, reorder, delete, duplicate, and then add a page. This is the reordered tab that I was talking about if you don't put them in the right order to begin with. Delete if you add too many. We're going to go into the design studio. So I'm going to click on design. And then once you're in the design studio, you can start editing each individual slide. So just really quickly, I'll show you this clips image right here. If you click on clips, it will take you in here, and you can shorten the length of the clip. So if you take a video, whenever I do videos for Reels or YouTube videos or Pinterest idea pins, Pinterest video pins, I often have more video footage than I need, and this is just a quick, easy way to edit that down. I've already got this one at the length that I want it, so I'm just going to leave it. And I'm going to click Done up here in the corner. And then I'm going to go over to, I'm actually going to show you music next. You can click on here. This is music that Pinterest has licensed for use for idea pins. You can choose which, you can kind of sort through here and get a feel for what you want. There's mood, genre, and then just all songs down here. I try not to spend too much time on this. This is top picks. I go in and then you can sample a song. And then if you like it, you just click on add down here at the bottom. And Pinterest will add the music to this particular slide. Now, the one thing to recognize here is that you have to add music to each slide, which is kind of, it's not seamless because you kind of have to identify how far in the song you were with the subsequent, or I'm sorry, with the previous slide so that you can line it up with the next slide. It takes a little bit of time and it's not exact, but I think most people are focused on the images that you're sharing and the instructions that you're sharing and not so much the music lining up. But that's how you add music. I'm going to click on Done up here. And then the next thing I'll show you is audio here. You can actually record a voiceover if you want by clicking on that circle in the middle. Since I'm just making this for you guys for demonstration purposes, I'm not going to do a voiceover, but I am going to click on this little these little lines with the knobs on them on the right hand side. If you click on that, now if you recorded this on your phone and it picked up audio while you're recording it, you can eliminate that audio by just using the slider here and taking original audio off. And you can also change the volume on the music as well here. And then recorded audio would be your voiceover. Then I'm going to click Done here. And then filters, that's self-explanatory, but I actually think the filters in Pinterest idea pins are pretty slick. I mean, I don't usually love filters, but this one gets the color pretty spot on. So I'm going to add that savor filter, and you can see that that little apple there, that this filter was designed primarily for food. So I'm going to click Done up there. And then stickers, you can always choose to add. I don't add these, well, I won't say never, but I rarely add these, but you can tag someone here, which if you are looking at working as an influencer, this is a good market now where you can tag somebody in your idea pins. So I'm not going to add anything here. I'm just going to click on the X up here. And then I'm going to go back here now to text, click on text. Here you can change the font. I'm going to change mine to sourdough, and then you can change the color. You can change the alignment right here, this middle button, and you can add, here, let me type some text before I show you this next one. I'm going to say on this one, weigh approximately 2 pounds tomatoes here. And then this A with the box around it is a highlighter. So you can make the text stand out. I'm going to go with this white background. I'm going to click Done. And then once you've clicked Done on the adding text page, you can move this text around. So if it's blocking something that's crucial, you can always move it. So that is the creation of my first slide. And I'm going to click Done here. And what you're going to want to do is go through and make these same additions to, or same edits to all of your slides. I'm not going to have you sit here and watch me do that because it's the same steps as what I just showed you on this one. So I'm going to go through and do that, and then I will come back and show you how to finish up your Pinterest idea pin. Hi guys, I'm back. I want to take a quick break here and give you some bonus material. As I mentioned in the video, you can use both video clips and photography, still photography, in your Pinterest idea pins. I often make slides for my Pinterest idea pins using Canva, especially slides for the intro and the exit. So I want to take a few moments and show you how to do that. Here's how I create my intro slide and my exit slide for my Pinterest idea pin. Like I said earlier, Pinterest likes you to start your Pinterest idea pins with video. So what I do is I start with an image actually, but then I animate the image to give it the appearance of a video. I do think personally that the quality of the still image makes for a really nice intro for your Pinterest pin idea. So that's how I do it. I don't like to just jump in right away with a video where the recipe starts. So I'll show you how I do that. I'm going to go up here. I'm in Canva, which I use for pretty much everything. I'm going to go to create a design, and Canva does have free versions, so anybody can use this. So you create a Canva account, come up here to create a design, and then I'm doing a Pinterest idea pin. So if I type that in, it will automatically preset the dimensions for me. And then what I want to do is I want to come into uploads, and I want I've already uploaded mine, but if you have images on your computer that you'd like to use for your intro pin and your exit pin, you want to upload them here through Upload Media, and then you can upload them here from your device. I already have mine up, so I'm going to go back just over here to Uploads. And then I'm going to select this first one. This will be my intro. So I will size this up so it fills up the screen. And then I'm going to add some text. I'll add the word vegan. And I'm going to highlight that and then come over here, and I'm going to change the font. I like this Brittany font, so I'm going to change it to that. And then resize it here. And I want to move it then up into this corner so it's visible. And I think I'm going to change the color as well. Now, if you come up here, you highlight it, come up here to the color selection tool. And what's really cool about Pinterest, about Canva, is it'll give you some color options that are related to the image colors. Sometimes I will use these. Sometimes I just like to play around with other colors. I think I'm going to go green here. Now, as you can see, that green's a little bright. You can always change the shade by coming up here to this little plus sign up here at the top. Click on that, and then you can kind of play around with different shades of green. So I think I'm going to go with that right there. Okay, I got that. And now I'm going to add a block. So I'm going to go over here to Elements. And then I'm going to select Shapes, this square here. And you can see how it says free here on this block. This is just demonstrating an element that you can use with the free version of Canva. I actually use the paid version of Canva because it gives me so many options, and it's far less expensive than stock photography. I do recommend the paid version of Canva, but before you go in and buy it, you should play around with the free version first and just make sure you like it. So anyway, there's my block. I'm going to move this down here and resize it like this and change the color on this as well. I'm going to go white here, I think, and then change the font. I'm going to add text, and I'm going to say gazpacho, and I'm going to change this font as well. Go over here and change this to Alta. It's another one of my favorites. And line it up in here. I want to make it a little bit bigger, like this, and then center it like that. Bring it down just a little bit. And then I want to add more text. In this case, rather than going over here and clicking add text to page over here, I'm going to highlight this, then I'm going to come over to these three dots and select duplicate. And then I'm just going to change it to soup recipe, and then move this down here and center that as well. See how that looks. You keep moving it over. You see that little pink line that appears when you get it in the center right there. That's how you can tell that it's centered, and I'll do the same thing with this one until I hit the pink line. There it is. Okay, and then now I'm going to change the color on these as well. I think let's try this orange color from the palette. Okay, let me see. I might want to change the color of that block so it's not. No, I like it white. Okay, and then to animate it, all you do is come up to this animate button, and then you can choose different animation tools. So that's block, breathe kind of oozes in, fade, pan, which I tend to like. So I'm going to use the pan. I'm going to select that. And then I'm going to download it, and as you'll see, it downloads as video. And then this will be my intro for my Pinterest idea pin. I'm going to do the same thing with another image to create an exit slide. And usually what I'll do in the exit slide is I will just tell people where they can get the recipe. Now in idea pins, you want to be careful. You don't want to give people a URL. Pinterest has outright said that if you are trying to encourage people to go directly to a link from an idea pin, that they will throttle your traffic. And trust me, I know Pinterest will throttle your traffic when you do something that they tell you not to do. So I usually just say you can find this recipe and more at Herbivore's Kitchen. I don't put .com, I don't put www, I don't make it look like a URL at all. So I'm going to go ahead and make the the exit video, and then I'm going to upload both of those to Pinterest, and I'll show you what to do with them when you get there. Okay, so now you've learned how to upload your photos to start creating your Pinterest pin. You've learned how to add music and text, and I've also showed you how to make still images in Canva so that you can intersperse them in your Pinterest idea pin. Like I said, I usually use these for the intro and the exit. So now that we have all this information and we've got it lined up in Pinterest, let's finalize our Pinterest idea pin and make it go live. So I have created my Pinterest slides now. When I last left you, I was going to go through and add my text and do my edits to all of these slides. So as you can see, I've got all these done now. And then I then showed you how to make an intro and an exit slide using a static image, but adding animation to it. So I'm going to add those slides now. I made them on my computer. I've sent them now to my phone. I'm going to go into the Design Studio and, sorry, I'm not going to go into the Design Studio. I'm going to go over here to where it says Add a Page, right here. I'm going to add a page and go into my images, and you'll see I have my intro and extra slides here. So extra exit slides here. So I'm going to add those. And then I'm going to reorder my slides so I can put my intro slide in here first. So you do that by grabbing this little 3-bar thing up here and moving it. Grab this 3-bar thing. I'm going to move this one all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to keep going here. Get this one all the way down to the bottom like this. Maybe, if it'll let me grab it. There we go. Okay, click done because I've reordered my images. And then I am going to go into my design here and just use the filter that I used for the other two. So savor there, and then click done. And as you can see, I got them in the wrong order. That's my exit slide. Let me go down here. I'll edit my intro slide here just by getting the filter on. It's a little too much, and you can back off the filter by sliding this bar down here at the bottom. There we go. Get a little less intensity on that. Click done. Click done again. I'll go back to reorder and get these in the right order. So this is the exit slide. Get this all the way down here. And then I'm going to take this one all the way to the top. This is why it's helpful to have these things in the right order before you upload them, because it's just a little time consuming to try and drag and drop them in here. Okay, I'm going to click done. So now I have all my slides the way that I want them. Everything's been edited, text has been added, music has been added, and then I'm going to go into, click next up here. And then this is the finishing touches pages. What you want to do here is when you first enter the screen, there's not going to be anything here. So let me just delete this for a second. It's going to say add a title required. This is super important. This is where Pinterest is going to pull keywords from so that it can identify what your idea pin is about, and it's going to try and associate your idea pin with other pins that already exist on Pinterest. And so the more specific you are with your keywords, and I do have a couple of posts on my blog about choosing Pinterest keywords, the better associated your idea pin is going to be with other pins, and the higher ranking it will be in Pinterest's algorithm so that it can deliver it to users. Idea pins already are going to be elevated, at least for the short term, because they're a new feature for Pinterest, but you do want to make sure that these keywords are appropriate. I've already done this keyword research, and I've decided that I'm going to title this pin Healthy White Bean Gazpacho Soup Recipe. Now I chose this because if I look at the word gazpacho and I do my Pinterest research, more common keywords that come up are soup, recipe, healthy, easy comes up a lot. White bean is a little more specific, but it does differentiate my gazpacho from a lot of other gazpachos, so I'm going to put that in there. I'm not going to edit the cover here, but you can, actually I will. So if you click on this edit cover here, it'll enable you to kind of slide along and pick from your first slide to see what you want the pin to look like when it appears on Pinterest. Because when it first appears in a Pinterest feed, it's going to appear as a still image. So I'm going to go further along in the slide to where my title appears, and then I'm just going to click done like that, and then that's what my cover will look like. Now, in order to give more information, as I talk about in my blog post, idea pins, the idea behind them is to, no pun intended, but the idea behind them is to give users enough information that they can make whatever craft or recipe or whatever it is you're presenting. You're giving them enough information that they don't feel like they have to go to another place. So in the case of a recipe, you're going to want to add ingredients. So you're going to click on the ingredients tab here, choose a cook time, choose servings, and then add your ingredients here. I always just do this as a cut and paste from my computer once I've gotten the recipe put together. So I will not take you through that process, but make sure that whatever it is you're doing here, you are adding your ingredients if it's a recipe, like I said, and supplies and instructions if it's a craft project. So I will do that before I upload it, but I'm not going to do it here. And then pick a board. This is required. This is also really important. As you can see, I have boards for both my blogs here, but you want to be really specific with the board that you pick, because Pinterest idea pins aren't the same as other pins. You're not taking a pin from a specific URL and posting it to multiple boards. You're posting an idea pin only one time. So you want to be really specific about what board you post it to. I'm going to post mine to my vegan summer recipes over my vegan soups and stews recipes, because I think gazpacho is more of a summer recipe than it is a soup recipe. So I'm trying to be very specific with that. So that's where I'm going to post my idea pin to. And then down here, tag related topics. You can see I already have started this, but you want to think really hard about what terms you would use if you were a user and you were searching for this recipe. This is a vegan recipe that's kind of my niche, so I type in the word vegan, and Pinterest is automatically going to populate a list of keywords or title tags that it thinks might fit. And then what you need to do is go through and choose from them. As you can see, I chose vegan recipes and vegan soup already. And then I searched the word gazpacho, summer recipes, heirloom tomatoes, plant-based recipes, and plant-based diet. You can have up to 10 tags. I do recommend using them all. So what I might do here is, if it's vegan, it's also vegetarian. So I'm going to try and pull some vegetarian tags. So vegetarian recipes, vegetarian soup, and let me see, anything else in here that might work. I'm going to go with going vegetarian. So now I have 10 tags. I'm going to click done, and I'm pretty much done at this point. Do advanced settings, allow comments. I do recommend allowing comments because Pinterest idea pins are getting more comments than anything else on Pinterest right now, so you do want to take advantage of that. And at that point, you have a couple of options. You can download your Pinterest idea pin so that you can use it on other formats. And you can also publish it, which it's not allowing me to do right at this moment. It's not highlighted because I haven't, right here, I haven't picked my board. I just talked about what board I was going to pick. So I'm just going to get this stuff added, my board and my my list, my ingredients, and I'll finish up my pin, and then I will show you what it looks like when it's all done. Okay, so I've created my Pinterest idea pin. Now I just want to show you what it looks like when it's in Pinterest. So I'm going to come back over to my Pinterest app, and you can see it here. I'll click on it, turn up the volume a little bit. And it will go through all of my slides in video format. It's playing the music, and as you can see, the music is a little choppy. As I explained, you had to add music to each individual slide. If the user wants to skip ahead, they can skip directly to the ingredients, view them here. They can also just tap on the screen and it will automatically go to the next slide. So if you do video imagery, I think people are less likely to do that, but with still images with some text, they're going to click through at their own rate. This gives them the option to do that. And then once it's in your Pinterest app, you can come down here to where it says see stats, and you can see how it's doing. I just put this up a couple of minutes ago. You can see it's already got 42 impressions and 3 pin clicks. So if you're familiar with Pinterest, you'll recognize pretty quickly that idea pins, at least for now, Pinterest is sort of pushing them to the front, and so you'll see stats appear pretty quickly on your Pinterest idea pins. So that is my tutorial on how to create Pinterest idea pins. I hope it was helpful, and if you enjoyed it, please follow me on YouTube. Check out my blog, Confessions of a Food Blogger. I go over a lot of tips for starting, creating content for marketing, monetizing, all different kinds of blog information. Whether or not you're a food blogger, this would be useful information for you if you're interested in growing your blog. Thanks very much. Okay, that's it. So hopefully now you feel really comfortable with Pinterest idea pins and you can get started right away applying them in your Pinterest account. I think they're going to go a long way, not only to driving traffic to your Pinterest account, but also driving traffic to your blog. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscribe video in the lower right-hand side. And if you want more information about how to blog, from starting a blog to managing a blog and building out your audience for a blog, then be sure to check out my blog, confessionsofAfoodblogger.com. Have a great day.